This election is dividing our nation. Well, I've heard that statement several times. Now, when you hear people say things and you hear it multiple times, usually it means that they've been programmed to say this. And so, in a way, they're like a minor bird, and they're just simply repeating what they heard in the media. The system that is in front of people of a two-quote party system is intentional because it presents a false dichotomy. Republicans versus Democrats, Democrat versus Republican. And if anybody comes in and tries to be the third party, the label that's given to them is spoiler. So it's meant to just simply be a two-party system of lies. It is a false dichotomy. In other words, this is your choice. And I remember when I was growing up and we had enough money that my father would take us to get ice cream. My father would say, "What do you want? Chocolate or vanilla?" Now, my father had an awful hard time with the fact that many of the places that sold soft ice cream were starting to experiment with getting different flavors. And as those flavors came in, he got more and more frustrated because as a child I could sit there and contemplate, what do I want? And I would have all kinds of options in front of me and I'd be thinking about it. And eventually he got so frustrated that he would say to all of us children growing up, "What do you want? Chocolate or vanilla?" And that was it. My father gave us two choices and two choices only. Now there might have been 2 or 3 other flavors there, but he was not going to put up with all of us sitting there saying, "Oh my goodness, I think I might want a strawberry," or whatever. Now back to the Democrat Republican. Basically, two choices are given to people, but they're not really even choices, okay? Because it's all manipulated and it's all phony. Now, most people don't want to believe that. They want to truly believe in the system that by the, quote, vote of people, these individuals are put into office. No, not really. There's a hierarchy. There's a hidden group that control everything. And the ones that are, quote, in office are just basically actors. Because, as I've tried to tell folks in other videos, there is no government at all. The only thing that's in place is a military rule. Because the government of United States went completely under, and that was in 1933, the 3rd of 33, March the 9th, 1933. All you see are actors who are presenting to you a good portrayal of a system that you think is in place and you think works. Okay? Now, as long as you think that, whatever I say will do no good. Okay? So this is a quotation. The election must be about bringing our people together, not dividing us. Bernie Sanders. That was from former election, I gather. So what really is going on? Well, it's the good old classic divide and conquer. That's all it is. Divide the people. Let the people fight. Let them fight among themselves. Oh, I'm worried if so-and-so gets elected, this will happen. But if so-and-so is elected, this will all go away. And then, of course, you have A versus B and B versus A. A false dichotomy. Because neither is true. It doesn't matter. There is no government. It's all just hokey-pokey nonsense. But people believe the nonsense. And they can't ever seem to get to the bottom of truth. Because it's hidden in front of them. And it will remain hidden in plain sight. But if you are wise, you will realize that it's all just a strategy. Make people believe that when they go to the polls, and that's kind of an electrical term because it is electrical, and elect someone, that they're just getting their choice, either vanilla or chocolate. And that's all life is. It's either vanilla or chocolate. But what if you dare to say, it's not vanilla, it's not chocolate, and it's not even strawberry or raspberry or anything else? The ice cream cones don't matter. Because it's all a false dichotomy. Meaning, you can go and do what you want on, quote, election day, but it really is nonsense. As long as you have even the tiniest bit of faith in this system, you really don't get it. And someone will say, well, he's saying don't vote. You can vote if you want, but just realize it's all hokey. I think it's best to abstain from all of it, because then you realize that you're outside of this box looking into it. But once you say, I'm one of these or one of those, or I'm a third party, or I'm independent, now you're in the box. You're in the cube. And your mind will be infiltrated by lie after lie after lie about the system of Democrat or Republican or another politician. So my advice, just withdraw from the whole thing. And then you will have peace of mind to know that this is just all the devil's strategy to try to contain you in this world system. This is all the devil's strategy to make you think that somehow this system works, somehow this system is for you, when it's all false. Because in true, quote, government, it's actually the people that govern. And anybody who holds a position is to be helpful and be like an administrator to help you, not to enslave you. And that's the original idea of it, that government was not to be enslaving. Was to empower people and to help people. But it's the opposite. It enslaves people. And as long as you abide in the Republican Democrat system, or even third party or fourth party, you'll never get it. The only one who has the right to govern is God Almighty. And that's the true government. And if people are, quote, in office, that office position is meant to be a servant position, an administrative position to help you, not to enslave you. But this system, regardless of which one you identify with, enslaves people. Get out of this world by the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. And through his life, death, and resurrection, you will understand that the only one who has the right to rule over anyone is God Almighty. And let God Almighty be the ruler in your life. Thank you for listening to this video.